Thank you. Right, the first one, apologies for absence.
Well, none have been received, however, Councillor Pitt Martin has not arrived as of yet, so I'm expecting her.
I just want to introduce myself to the audience.
Do you want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Yep. I'm Harry, councillor in Harpenden South.
I'm Mike Weaver, councillor for Harpenden West.
And Chris Campbell, another councillor at Harpenden West.
And I'm Heather Scott, the officer from the Town Council Clerk's meeting.
Thank you very much. Sorry for letting you go first.
That's okay. No.
Okay, gentlemen, any declarations of interest?
No, if anything does come to life as we progress through the agenda, if you can just let me know.
Right, minutes of the meeting, Planning Advisory Committee held on 19th of December. I'm assuming they've already been presented to council, haven't they?
Yes.
They did?
Yes.
Last
Right,
night?
so we'll pass on over that one.
Yes, Roderick.
Do you need to sign them, though?
I need to sign, right, that's fine, thank you. Just here, is it, or do I have to do all the pages?
You sign and date there, and then initial each of the pages, please.
And we're on
The 30th today. It was a long meeting, wasn't it?
Yeah. There we go. Thank you very much. Okay. Any public questions in accordance with Standing Order 22 and 23?
No, none have been received.
Thank you. Okay, we move on to applications registered at the weeks ending 5th of January, 26th of January, 2nd of January, 19th of January, and 9th of February. Up pages 11 to 20.
Right, okay, so do we want to progress through the agenda items?
Do we need to do letters of objection before we do?
No, because of that will come up.
They will come as we go.
Yeah.
Fine, lovely, thank you very much.
Shall we skip to the...
Yeah, I've already informed the members of the public that I'm leaving you to last. Thank you, Harry. Yes, I'm going.
Me up, ready. Okay, so I understand you're here for 61 Harpenden Rise. Is that correct? Yeah. Okay, so what we will do, obviously,
page 14.
That application is further on within the agenda, but so that you don't have to sit and wait and listen to applications that don't interest you, we draw that application to the beginning of the meeting.
Thank you
and
very
I
much.
understand that I have Mrs. Marston and Mrs. Gate. Is that correct? Do you want to just come up and take a seat just at the end?
Right.
I'll get the plans for that and come to the council. So that you've got some.
It's on page 14.
61 Harpenden Rise.
Right in the middle.
Yes, okay, the 61 is
So there we go. So when you're ready.
Hi, I'm Elaine. I'm here to speak on behalf of my in-laws, Tony and Mary, who live at number 59 Harpenden Rise. You may be aware Harpenden Rise, at the top of the rise, is largely two-bedroom semi-detached bungalows, quite small. And the adjoining property, number 61, has already been extended significantly on the ground floor to provide a three-bedroomed extended living premises. The objection we are raising is to the size of the lot extension proposed next door, in the context that it's already significantly developed, and the size of which the size of the loft extension proposed will encroach completely up to the midline on the property adjoining. We're concerned by the 2 years now, my in-laws have put up with the noise and pollution and disruption, which, as you can appreciate, the older you get, 2 years is more of an issue. And actually, we're not at the end of those 2 years because they've now not passed building regs on the original extension. So this raises concern for them in terms of the quality of the build and the fact that the build comes directly up to the midline of the property. The main concern from that then is the lack of light in the back of their property, and also the fact that this will now go from being a 2-bedroom to a 5-bedroom property, for which there is only really 1 parking space out the front. So there's already significant congestion in the close. And you might get 2 small cars on there if you took away the complete rest of the corner in the front lawn, but you will not get any more than that. This day and age, I think we all know that teenagers into young adults end up staying at home a bit longer in order to get their own property later in life. So there is the potential for 4 or 5 cars needs to be parked in that area. So the corner plot is extensive at the rear and has allowed for a good extension of the back, but the front of the property facing onto the road is very narrow. So the objections are really light. The size of the proposed loft in terms of encroaching on the property next door, and the provision for parking at the front in particular. Okay. Have I included everything? There is also a certificate of lawfulness which does state that this is a detached 2-storey property already, which is confusing. And it also provides a smaller plan than the plan submitted here. Okay.
This is one prepared, yeah.
Did you want me to get it up on the...
Yes, that would be good.
This is great.
I recall this coming up on committee, the original, actually what they're referring to is 2-year situation. It was quite a difficult one to consider because it's an angled plot. The entrance is very slim.
Okay, so it's this one here.
Yes, this is pre the development.
Yes,
To the side.
It's just to help the committee
Yeah.
sort of understand the location is from.
It's the one you've got the cursor on, yes.
It's the one, yeah. So literally, yeah, this one here.
That's right. And that's detached, not semi.
No, it is part
It is
of the semi.
semi-detached, so
It is.
the silver polo is their driveway here. The camper van is this their house. To the left,
Yep.
behind the lamppost, yeah.
So essentially the building, the
Yeah,
boundary
the chimney
is
there.
split with
Right, okay,
yeah.
fine. Thank you, I'm glad you said that, because I was looking at it as one property, so...
Yeah, now you can see why some people might
Okay.
think it was detached.
Yeah.
This is a case where the 2 properties, you've got a terribly narrow entrance.
Yes.
And they make advantage of it, but they've got a very large, basically it's a large other-sized garden. So it's a very odd.
It's an odd-shaped plot, yeah. But you can see access to even the other side will not allow them to get further, parking behind. Nobody will be able to get out the other driveway either.
And it's going from 2 bedrooms to 5 bedrooms, isn't it? That's what we've got in the application.
Can you clarify the bedroom situation?
The amount of bedrooms and the amount of parking spaces, that's not, say, a small difference, it is a big difference.
Well,
Can you confirm that it is up to 5?
well, there's reference to a study as opposed to a bedroom.
Yeah, but that's
Call it what you like, it's a bedroom.
Yeah.
That's terminology.
So there's all that there, in a sense, there's an addition in the roof space, the loft space of a bedroom and this study. I mean, in a sense, I'd be slightly inclined to agree that it's a study because it is very small.
Okay. Well, given that,
It is.
that it's still outside the required room for...
And then downstairs we've got the retained 3 bedrooms.
Have we got any?
Actually, no, hang on a moment.
So what is a 4-bedroom?
4 bedrooms is three parking
Yeah.
spaces is required.
So we're going from How many bedrooms do is it? 3 to 4?
We're going from 3 to 4.
Okay. We have the space less in terms of parking.
Sorry, beg your pardon, you go.
But it's not
That's all I heard. We're going to be one space less in terms of parking.
Because the garage...
It's been fully extended across that garage spot currently.
Garage
There
there
is no garage there now.
Is there any other
Have we got
on
to-
this street for basically developments of these bungalows?
Has there been through Preston
Any
already?
other
Um,
developments on the street?
I don't know.
Because we could, I mean, this is
It may be one of the lots, but
Conversion.
not complete.
not necessarily a big impact on the street thing.
The thing is that, in a sense, really, everything, this is the loss of conversion really going to the back, Harry. So if you, in terms of the street scene,
Yeah,
It's-
street scene.
there's no change to the street
exactly.
scene.
Yeah,
In terms of that all is it's different, is that there's the addition of these 2 Velux windows. It's really happening at the back.
So the key issues here are amenity, parking, because we're going up another bedroom.
You can see the change, essentially, really, when you look here at the roof dorm, is this dormer that comes out at the back. That is dormer that comes out at the back. And obviously the configuration internally
So-
downstairs.
How are we going footprint-wise?
They're not changing the
No.
footprint.
So
at
there's
all.
not- there's
But
no-
it's not
Okay.
within this particular application.
Fine.
This
The previous application significantly increased the footprint.
relate purely to loft conversion. So, we have to be very mindful here of looking at the drawings that are in front of us for this application, which is a loft conversion with a rear door window and insertion of roof height. Okay, so the previous application obviously has happened.
Yeah.
So that's it, if we start from the premise that we've got an approved application,
Yes.
Yes.
which we then can't talk back to, all we can talk to is
Is
how
this
what we
is
have
how
in
this
front of us
application
here.
then
Exactly.
added
Exactly.
to the extended property
Yeah.
then affects.
That's right.
So we've lost it on footprint currently because it doesn't touch that.
No, it doesn't change.
Have we got anything on, because everything's above the roof as far as I see it and interpret it, anybody speak up if I'm incorrect, is we've got nothing on the 40%.
What, the 45-degree angle?
45,
Yeah,
40
no.
degree angle.
But it's-
Percent I said angle, yeah, degrees.
In terms of, is that a view or light?
45, a basic 45-degree angle means that if you look out of a window in, say, your house,
Yeah.
if you look at a 45-degree angle, you should not have the vision of the extension.
Further obstruction.
Yeah, of the extension. And generally, a
Well, they have
45...
a side window on their extension at the rear, which will, I mean, it
That-
will be above there.
Yeah, no, that's not relevant. It's essentially really only ever comes into play when you have an extension
Two-story.
going out.
Yeah.
Going out the back. It doesn't relate to anything which is within the footprint building
The
line.
original one,
Yeah.
okay.
Have we got any overlooking from the?
Well, no, not really,
It doesn't.
because there's no, in terms of overlooking, we can only sort of consider the new windows that are being
Right, okay,
installed.
and they go
It's 2
in.
Velux at the front,
Yeah.
and then we've got the flat roof dormer with windows which are looking back out of the garden space.
Yes.
So
So,
street
no.
There you can see where there's no over.
There's no new windows in at the side.
What do we consider the Velux and street scene on front?
Well, there's no change to the street scene on the front, is there?
It's just the
It's already
addition
back.
of the
So we
window.
can't say anything about street scene or
The street
character
scene
of the area. The only thing I would say that is not policy compliant on is the amount of parking spaces.
Yes, I would concur with that. No extreme concern on the parking here. We know it's 4 bedrooms, but it could be 5. And we know the issue of public parking in the area. Very considerable, so
Those
no
insufficient
chance
on-street
of
parking.
on-street parking to be ruin it.
Okay, so what
Sadly, that's all we're
are
left with.
what are your feelings with this then?
I think we're hidebound a bit. It's very sympathetic to what's still been done, particularly since it was a total side issue when we had to suffer 2 years of, or nearly 2 years of building work going on. But there quite clearly it is out of order with the taking out affordable parking.
Right, can we start with parking? Can we object on parking, or we just...
You can only express concerns
Yeah,
that
okay.
there is
That's
inadequate
what I was
parking
saying,
provision for the
Yeah.
proposed number of bedrooms.
Yeah, I was
Fine,
going to go
fine.
towards that.
Brilliant, thank you. We'll go for that one straight away. Then just exploring back over, the concern I have is we've got on the agenda no relevant history, but obviously there was the planning
It
application.
was a certificate of lawfulness.
It is, and right, there was something there, can I just get that one right? What was the problem?
There's been there's the planning application for the loft, but there's also been a certificate of lawfulness being put through as well for the same loft extension.
For a bigger one.
For a bigger,
Which has been granted.
which had been granted on the 17th of January,
Right, okay, so we've blown
which
on
goes
that.
the full width of the
We can't
the back.
refer to the original application at all, the first one, but it was, I can recall it.
It was just the one bit that in my mind I was going back to.
It was
If it was just a certificate of lawfulness and then this was adding to it by way
I
of
would
planning
agree.
application, that perhaps we should be asking for a full planning application, was the way my mind was going,
I think the original
including
extension has been
the originals. But
I mean,
if they've
can
already,
we
if they've
say
already
that?
granted, so we can't.
We can't, no.
So again,
I mean,
that's
like everything, we
negated.
can only really kick that one.
So we are, unless anybody else can be,
Right.
this is why I haven't come up with anything else, so I'm afraid we're
The difficulty is that we have to
go with what
go with what we have in front of
Yes,
us here.
yes,
We
absolutely.
can't refer back to anything that's already happened or that was that happened on the plot. It has to be what's in front of us here.
It
So
is,
it's
but
really
I still have concern over the fact that this is, I think it's an amendment to a certificate of lawfulness and the work isn't concluded yet. Despite the fact that, so we would take this as an amendment to a planning application. Had it been submitted at the same time as the original planning application, it may have given us bigger cause for concern.
So do you want
It's the only way that
to put something like in the wording at all?
We can put something in the word in, I don't think we can necessarily
Yeah.
object to
All
anything
that-
because of that.
all that I can assume is the reason why they've had to go for full planning permission rather than another certificate of lawfulness, based on the fact that they've made some amendments, is that because they have extended the property now, it has gone above and beyond the percentage that you're able to do under permitted development.
Right, yeah.
That's my
Yeah, okay.
my understanding would be that's why they've had to go for full planning, because
Right.
they have got permission under certificate of lawfulness to something very similar, but it's actually a much larger scheme, but because they have done the building works to the property, they have now actually gone beyond the permitted development
Limit,
ratio.
Yeah.
So we've talked out any mileage on that one.
Yeah.
So we are left only
I
with,
think-
unless anyone's got a different opinion, we're left only with parking.
Yeah, so we've got to say, express concern over the insufficient.
Which is insufficient. I think we should spell it out. I mean, if you look at it, it's going to be damn difficult for them to get certainly not 5,000 into the property.
At the moment, it carries one with a very small amount of grass to the left of it.
It needs to have a capacity for 3. Based on the fact that there's 4 bedrooms, it has to have parking provision for 3.
And if we can get in there the point that there is no available on-street, if that's correct, that there's no available on-street
No, because
parking.
that blocks everybody's driveway in that corner.
It's on the corner.
Yeah.
And I viewed it, which is on the corner. you could, this corner site, you mentioned.
Yes, particularly for this, worstly affected,
Yeah,
particularly
so I've
for this corner
got,
plot.
no on-street parking provision is available due to the position of this dwelling in the street. And then obviously we're in the realms of policy 40 and 72 4.
Could you stick in the word, that's a corner site?
Yeah.
Because it just brings difficult make plans north if it goes
Due
there.
to the, I can say due to the corner site position.
Yes, that's it. It makes it more pointed and
Position of the dwelling.
showing the councils on where they'll make them ears prick up a bit.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much for your
Do
time.
you know if the item has been called in?
Sorry?
Would you like to explain, Chair, what the
Right, okay, fine. There is a week past the time. Is the question.
That is very...
Don't wish to labour that one if we've already blown,
Let me have a look.
which seems to be the tendency these days. So I will just explain that. There is the option that you can ask a councillor.
No.
We're
I think we're still in time.
still within
Just-
time.
So,
So,
yeah.
again, you've got the opportunity that you can go, if it's called in, you can then go and speak at the
Okay.
committee that it's called to, which is Dan's referral.
Okay, so
For the
what
district
happens after
council.
this now?
It runs north, and it means that the 8 councillors on the count, they can do it, they make the decision, and they are, in many cases, they're local people, so they understand, rather than just the officers making the decision. It has to be done before a particular Friday, and I don't know.
This
And
Friday.
and
This Friday,
in this
so what do we have to do?
Okay, so essentially what you need to do, so after today, we're just purely a consultee, as I explained when you came in the other day. So our recommendation will be sent to the District Council by Friday this week, outlining what our thoughts were. So before Friday, you as a resident, we aren't able to do it because it's not within our remit. So you can, it doesn't matter, a resident has to do it. It can't come from the town council, it has to come from the resident. You need to approach your ward councillor. So I noticed that you're in Harpenden North.
Harpenden North,
Yeah.
Bert,
Okay.
Bert, Stephen, or Jeffrey.
So if you've got access to the internet, go on to the town council
We
website.
copied them on an original email we sent to
Right.
the council.
Okay, so then
Right.
if you've already made contact with them, drop them an email and say that you've been along to tonight's meeting and that you'd like the application to be called in.
Okay.
If the officers are minded to grant it, okay, so if they're minded to grant, you're wanting in a sense for it to be not granted.
Yeah.
So you would like, if the officers say they have no problem and they're going to grant, you'd like to have a fresh opportunity for the committee to do essentially very similar to what we've done tonight.
Okay.
It is much more strict at the district council. If you want to speak, you have 3 minutes and you have 3 minutes
Yes,
only.
okay.
You
know,
ask
John, then-
to come,
yeah.
you take your seat, you then go back to the audience.
They will cut you off mid-sentence.
Right,
Yeah,
okay.
they are
But
very strict.
you were very succinct tonight, so I think I'll be so
We'll get it timed.
Yeah.
I would do this, tomorrow very,
Early on,
Yeah,
yeah.
I've contacted them fairly quickly.
it has to be in my midday on Friday.
Friday. So literally email the councillors
Yes,
for Harpenden North Ward.
and say, would like this application to be
Called in.
Yeah, give them the reasons why,
Yeah.
so that they've got something to put in their call-in form,
Yeah.
as to the reasons why that the residents aren't for them.
Yeah.
So,
And do we need them to acknowledge that so that we,
You
receive
Yeah.
the email?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so once
all
the call-in has happened, then their call-in form will go live on the website, on
Right,
video,
okay.
it will come under the documents, you will be able to see it. Not all applications are discussed at committee. If they're called in, and if the officer doesn't like it, can see grounds for it to be refused, it won't go to plans and also because in a sense you've only asked it to be called in if they're minded to grant. Okay.
If they're mindful to grant.
If they're minded to grant it, yeah.
Okay.
So that's the key word.
Okay.
That's the key word you need to say if they're minded to grant the
If they're minded to grant.
application.
Right?
And then it's a waiting game.
Okay,
Then
wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for your help.
Okay.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you.
Gentlemen.
Okay.
Thanks very much.
Okay.
Thanks very much.
Yeah.
Good night.
Right, if you guys...
Yes, please.
Thank you.
I recall it, the original application, and I recall it.
You
I remember
which
something
one,
about
the
it.
single story one?
Yes, the same, this day one.
Well, no, because it was only certificate for lawfulness that was before. The one before that was a single story side
two-
extension.
It was 2 years ago.
You can remember that from 2 years ago.
Well, single story side.
There's a single story side, that's all, that's all the history
Well,
for 61
maybe,
Oxford
but
Rise.
it was
And then
it
certificate
was
of
a bit
lawfulness.
contentious, actually. And I remember it went,
I don't think it was this site, Mike. I
it was
think,
the other one.
I think I
Oh,
know the
right.
one
Yeah.
you're referring to, and it wasn't
Yeah.
this site.
I remember
It's a
that.
very
Yeah.
similar, yes, it's a very similar location, but it wasn't Harpenden Rise. I do know
Seems
the
like
one
I've
you were
got nothing
talking
on it.
about. It was a big wraparound, wasn't it?
That's I don't know.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think I do remember it.
Right, shall we start?
Okay.
Okay, let's move on.
Fire on.
Who's chairing this thing?
Oh, sorry.
Would you like to? Right, okay, fine, we'll proceed to page 11. 517362, two all present, and we've got the recommendation is no objection. Are we happy with that particular
Yes.
proposal?
Yes, for order of present.
Thank you.
I can give you the explanation. A ground floor wraparound, not extending on the first floor, pitched roof to number 4, losing the garage but plenty of parking on the frontage, a nice addition to the frontage, and the render is appealing.
Yes, correct.
Brilliant, lovely, thank you. You prefer for me to go for that bit, because I went too far the last time I chaired it, so
Oh, yeah.
we want to balance it out. Okay,
Yeah,
fine,
yeah,
thank you.
yeah.
I've got the L plates on.
Yeah.
Right, 51734434, 19 Tufnell's Way.
Okay.
No
so,
objection, subject to loss of amenity.
Yep, so I have footprint and the flank walls are larger. So I think this relates to, why did I say that? Footprint and flank walls are larger. Oh, okay, I think they're increasing them basically. Number 21 is a substantial new build. There's the neighbour's garage between them. So number 17 and, between number 17 and the plot, sorry. There is neighbour's garage between number 17 and the plot. The ridge height is no higher than the neighbouring property. Scheme seems to be in a keeping, increasing to be a 5-bedroom, originally 4, but no need to increase the parking.
Oh, well, 4 to 5 is not a big difference, that's fine, yeah.
And on that particular road, it's a case of there are more that have been done than that haven't now, as I noticed the other day. Right, thank you. Right, 5173630, 36 Ridge Avenue. And on this one, we've got expressed concern that the proposed increase in the ridge height will have a detrimental impact on the street scene. Concern is also expressed that there is insufficient parking provided. There are various policies again.
Yeah, so I've got a sympathetic extension to the ground floor and the side extension at first floor, which adds to the bulk. Ridge height is increasing, loss of garage with limited ability to add extra parking. Quite a dominant dwelling in the street scene.
Yep, okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's quite a big, quite a substantial dwelling, which is why I was concerned from what it started out like. In Ridge Avenue, it's not the biggest round in the world.
Okay, top of page 12, 5173637. Outline, all matters reserved, 49 Cold Harbour Lane. Committee to consider. Resubmission following withdrawal, and there is a letter of objection.
Yeah, the reason why I didn't delegate this was because I was uncertain whether or not the objector was going to attend today. But essentially, this application is exactly the same from the previous application, which was withdrawn.
Well, then I don't think we...
So it's a
Well, we
resubmission then.
expressed concerns, but they say it's currently loss of privacy, overbearing.
So what were our concerns on the last occasion?
So our concerns were just on our
It's
on
really
this
useful.
I'm sorry, the
issue.
concerns
Yeah.
in the proposed two-bedroom dwelling may result in detrimental impact on the neighbour properties in terms of overlooking loss of amenity properties 60, 69 and 70. So if we stick with that then?
Just
Yeah.
Right,
Exactly.
thank you.
I wouldn't complicate it.
Yep.
That was the only reason why I didn't delegate it, was because I was uncertain if they were going to attend.
Right, 5, 17, 3, 5, 7, 4, 13, 15 and 15 Oakhurst Avenue.
Okay, not the conservation area. The proposed changes are relatively minor in the scheme. Proposed dwellings are substantial and amendments seem in keeping.
Yeah, the plots around here are quite big, and I can't see there's going to be any problems with amenity,
No, I agree with that,
overlooking, parking, anything like that, street scene.
Right, thank you.
No objection.
Thank you. Right, 5, 17, 3, 6, 0, 9, 92 Grove Road. Two-storey side and rear extension, replacement roof with dormer windows and roof lights.
Okay, I wanted the committee to look at this one because it's a bungalow to a dormer with an increase in the roof design, a lot of the garage, got the 3 parking spaces on the frontage proposed, the flank wall is increasing, the footprint to the front is increasing, a lot for the plot and the neighbours and the bulk and the street.
Let's have a look, I can't remember which one
So
it
it's
is.
this little house here with the little wooden
Yes.
fencing.
Well, there has been a precedent set further up the road where you've had bungalows that have basically been down built as houses. Side and rear extension, basement roof,
Which one is
windows, roof box to front there, so this one.
It's
That one there.
It's detached, so it's not...
Okay, thanks.
I mean, anything there is going to look out keeping with their neighbours, but on Grove Road, you've had actually, good point.
It's in the
good point.
picture, it's already
Yeah.
there.
But I'm talking mainly like
You-
further up where you've had bungalows that have actually gone the whole hog and been knocked down and
If you
built
look
as a
at the
house.
street
But-
scene though,
yeah,
that you
that
can see
potentially
my
that's
concern.
different.
So even though the neighbour has done something, it's still quite a bit bigger.
But the neighbour's got wider plots and
They're semi.
the semi is the right, to the
They're
right.
a pair of semis either side.
You're right. Well, they are.
Yeah.
And then this is the footprint from above, where we extend further back.
We haven't got any issues with parking here, have we?
No.
I don't think we're going to have... Are we going to have an issue window to windows at all? Any side windows here? With the neighbouring? No? I mean, these are side and rear extension. So is there going to be a huge difference on the front? There isn't, is there?
The
Just apart from
dormers would appear to have pitched roofs rather than flat, as is in the picture there. On both ends of this picture, they're flat roof ones, but we've gone away from flat roofs anyway,
Yes.
by preference.
I don't think it's detrimental to the trees.
No.
Scene.
Right.
Okay, if you
I
have no
think
problem
it's
with
fine.
it, then that's
You've got
absolutely fine.
Yeah,
personally, no
fine.
objection.
Are we,
Yeah.
just one query, are we doing it on bulk and massing on the size of the plot, or is that not a concern?
I don't know.
If we look at the size of the plot, that
down and
build
build
to the next
something.
one.
I think if they were knocking it down and building something, 5 bedrooms or so, something really big, then we could say something about bulk and massing.
So we don't even want to express concern in any way,
No,
we're
I
happy
can't
with
see.
no objection.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you. Right, 5173620, 96 Pickett Hill Lane, Harpenden. Two-storey side and rear extensions.
No, it's single story.
Sorry, beg your pardon,
Single storey.
I've gone too far down. Single-storey side and rear extension with roof lights. No objection.
Yeah, we said no objection to the two-storey side, so I think same again for the thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Agree with that.
Right, top page 13, 517 3626, 5 West Common
Oh,
Way.
next door to where I used to live.
Oh, of course.
Is that a declaration of interest?
I lived at number
Since
3.
you did that, Mike had to declare on it.
He said
Yeah,
sarcastic,
yeah,
although he's lived
yeah.
everywhere, yeah.
Yes.
It was a nice house.
No objection subject to the appropriate design and use of materials in this locally listed building in the conservation area.
Yes, absolutely no problem with that one.
Mike.
Way will be listed.
When you lived there, your neighbours weren't the Gallimores, were they?
No, I don't think so.
No.
That name doesn't ring a bell.
No.
The people who lived to number 5 were called Cox.
Oh, okay.
They extended. It was on all those houses have been extended, and some of them were Jarvis built in
Just
1939.
Yeah, so happy with the recommendation.
Happy with that?
Yes.
Fine, thank you. 517 3627, no comment required. 517 3652, we're still on page 30. Application does not meet criteria. 517 3662 doesn't meet criteria.
Yep.
517 3664 does not meet criteria. Am I going to get boring?
No.
Oh no, there's no objection. Right, okay, fine. 517 3669, 42 Waveney Road, single-storey front extension. No history, no objection.
Other houses in the road have done the same, if not more.
Okay, good. I'm not too sure where this is actually.
Well, would you like to see where it is?
Yeah, just quickly,
Is it off the old
I've
place? I've got the right place.
I think so.
Country,
One of the
one or
cross
two.
farm ones.
That's fine.
That's right, cross farm, that's covering the south. Oh, this is
Oh, no, it's not. It's
east.
off of, yes. Yes.
A
near
long way from
Balfour
Cross
Court.
Farm.
Yeah, sorry, I was getting confused
Where?
with the likes of,
They've moved it.
yeah, I was getting confused with the likes of,
Where is it?
where,
Waveney Road, where?
right, so this is Balfour Court, which is on Station Road.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, this is okay, yeah.
Oh, the little, yes.
But you were thinking the same as me, weren't you? You thought it was over on Cross Farm.
No, I didn't.
Oh.
There's nothing similar to Waveney Road on.
I've got the two as well. My daughter lives just around this.
Fine, so we're okay with no objection on that one, yes? Right, 518 0026, this application does not meet the criteria for consideration by the committee.
Then we've done the next one.
We have 517 3616, 22 Springfield Crescent, front porch and new bay window. No objection.
The change can hardly be noticed.
Well, good.
517 3546, 27 Oakfield Road, demolition of existing and construction of replacement. Committee to consider.
Yeah. The reason why I've said that is that they've got planning permission for a replacement dwelling on the plot,
Yes.
but this application is a very different style from the plans that were approved. It's got a contemporary style, it's got a flat roof design, it's just very different, so I wanted to just get the committee's thoughts about it.
The previous one was a 6-bedroom.
So if it's different, I think we'd mainly be looking at design on all the on the
It's very
street
grey
thing.
looking.
And is it one of those kind of Scandinavian kind of art?
Contemporary
Yes, yes, and that will stick out a little bit on Oakfield Road.
Okay, so sort of, yeah. It's
That's what
I'm extending that one slightly around the Oakfield Road a bit and the other designs that we've got there.
Oh, that's quite reminiscent of, maybe correct me if I'm wrong, looks a little bit kind of Frank Lloyd Wrighty.
Who's?
Frank Lloyd Wright, architect in the 60s. a little bit, in a way.
Yes.
Anyway, so they're the new schemes, and then this is the scheme that was approved before.
Any objections on this one?
I'll have a little look. There wasn't one I was
Yeah, that's
looking
completely
at.
different. Look, I mean, that's
Just a
a
very
typical West
different-
Common.
That's
That's typical West Common, and this is...
It's, you see, in the next door road, where it was from Way, there's only one property that looks
Vaguely,
like that.
There is...
Upside down, so.
There were two, possibly three up there that have gone in that direction.
There are
That route.
properties like this in East Common as well, around Grange Court Roadway. In fact, one of them in East Common that looks similar to this is actually either a locally listed building or it comes up on when you type in Google, or when you type in Harpenden on Google, that house comes up. But in terms of the street scene, there's not going to be anything similar to this. And it's got a balcony on the back. Did the previous proposal have a balcony on the back?
When we're talking balcony in this particular context,
Oh,
we're probably not talking because of the size of the plot.
Well,
it's not the usual effect as if you're putting it on a semi or a...
Yeah, in terraces or somewhere. So actually, the balcony here, yes, it's not going to be problems of overlooking because it's a big plot.
Not from what I can see, Harry, anyway, not...
I mean, I think...
My mind's the only thing is this is the street scene, and whether you've got a...
I think it is, yeah, it's a design, really. I didn't have a concern about the size or anything like that. You know, precedent's been set and got permission already for something very substantial. It's just, do we feel that this particular design and concept is in keeping with this location?
I mean, this is not a locally...
That's already established.
Well,
We've
then
got those
established
in and around there.
We don't...
Well, I think we've got precedent.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's not a conservation area.
I think we're outside of it there.
Yeah, I'd say outside of conservation area, not locally listed. I don't think we can really object to them doing something slightly different.
No.
It might look out of keeping with the street scene, but it's quite a good design. It's, you know...
We'd be pedantically out of order if we refuse this one.
Yeah.
You see, the difference, West Common Way is in the conservation area. Oakfield, which is
bit further along.
It's not, and it's so and there's a myriad of different houses there that have been going over the last 20 years have been changed. So
As you say, there's the one that you Google and it's quite stunning.
Yeah, well, that's East Common, but
I've
like Mike said, there's plenty in West Common Way with a plethora of variety.
I don't think any of us can offer a policy to which we would like to refer.
It was just a case of that it was a very, very different style.
Well, it's a big house. And we should look
So, kind of quite American, you know, in a way.
Yes.
You'd expect that in a suburb in Los Angeles.
My comment is, I would say, very 60s.
But having been to LA, I can tell you that the houses in West Common aren't too far off some of the houses sizes in Los Angeles.
But they've got the land to do it.
Yeah, well, I mean, the land over in there is twice the size of West Common's plot.
Naturally, isn't it? It's the most plot.
Yeah, I mean, LA is huge, so...
Can we play on?
No objection.
Right, 5-8, no objection. 518-0021, 1 Nairn Close. Single storey front extension and fixed roof. And the recommendation is to express concern that the proposed single storey front extension is out.
No, this is what I have to say. Where's Nairn Close?
Around the corner from where I live, on the Cross Farm Estate. It borders the park, more or less. It's in the middle. It's a little close with about 12 properties or so. I mean, this one, I think we've got as far as we can probably go on this, to be honest, with the word and express concern. Out of keeping the style and character of the street scene. From the looks of it, there's not going to be amenity problem with neighbours. So, yeah, I think the word in there would be correct.
That sounds good.
And there's been no objections either, so...
No, what you said it covers us completely.
Right, okay.
So you're in agreement with what I said?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, 518-0036, no comment required. 517-3397, going from 15 over to 16.
Oh, I know this person.
Would you like to declare an interest?
Well, I just know the person.
Oh, no, person, okay, fine, you don't need to
Yeah.
declare it.
Yeah.
Um,
There's a lot of work on this property actually.
and recommendation, no objection, subject to appropriate design and use of materials in the conservation area.
Yes, and we've
Yeah.
got a previous application as well.
I know the,
With this one.
Permission has already been granted for a much larger scheme in terms of height, footprint, etc. Plot is large and is out of view with no impact on the neighbours. It's sort of kind of round the corner and
Yeah, the street goes like
Bends
that,
round.
and he's here, he's
Right
in that
down the
one
end.
right at the end. So he has a neighbour to his right, well, neighbours, and then on the left is just the trees. So he's in a good position in terms of not affecting anyone's amenity.
Any comment, Mike?
go
Fine,
with
as
it.
laid out then, thank you.
Yes, actually with it.
5, 17, 3, 5, 5, 6, 16 Gilpin Green, construction of 1 4-bedroom dwelling following demolition. No objection, subject to no loss of amenity to neighbouring properties. Policy 70.
They're 3-bedrooms, aren't they, Gilpin Green?
there's been quite a lot of development in Gilpin Green now where they're
Mm.
slowly being
Extended to a size. I remember we had one a few months ago, and I think there was an issue with exterior staircase. I vaguely remember.
It was,
Yeah.
it was this one.
It was.
Oh, well,
Right.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, it was this side.
yeah, I agree with the wording.
Yes.
Fine, okay, fine, thank you. No objections.
It's an interesting one. It's as completely as I predicted this one.
5, 17, 3, 6, 0, 3, 2 Thompson's Close.
It's breathing space.
Yeah, breathing space being
okay, fine.
converted to flats because
Now-
the neighbouring is flats anyway.
Yes, now, it's interesting, this one, well, I was in it to the purpose of the back and physio treatment, actually only 2 weeks ago when they moved, but I can't see, let's look at this, it's not in the planning directive, but I can't see it being going as a retail or other area, A1. I think that it's inevitably going to become this sort of thing, and yes, I don't know whether they've sold the property or what have you, whether it's done, but I think that your wording has been very carefully done over here, because it's just that you would regret the loss of the nature of this class of use, which is retail and food or this.
You have to be realistic.
Yeah, absolutely, in this current day and age, and the other part of the reality is, although we regret the loss, it's not a perfect retail site, as we know.
Precisely.
Those words are...
It's very, very difficult.
Sum it up, actually.
Yeah.
And I think you've worded your thing very clearly on the second paragraph, fine, because that it must be in keeping, not like the application 202 ago, which was rather different.
In a sense, precedent has slightly been set because the second floor already is an apartment.
It is.
Yeah.
And also, we have to bear in mind that a little bit further up the road, okay, there were offices, but we had the Star Cargo house had been converted into apartments. So in a sense, really, that area there lends itself to this
Residential,
sort of use.
Yeah, that's why it's question in my
think-
mind. Sorry, fine, carry on.
No, I just want to say, I think, although what we've said, and if we do regret the thing, if others could find out other ways, I think you worked it as well. We've got to be pragmatic here.
And I think with, like you say, Mike, it's not the best space for retail. The amount of space for retail will probably diminish in the next 20 to 30 years going forward, and a business that has been there, breathing space, is likely there will be probably spaces open up on the high street for a similar business coming in the future. I mean, I think what they were doing, they were breathing space, they were kind of like sort of beauty.
Well, it's fitness and beauty.
Fitness and beauty, yeah, the best way to describe it. That's actually one area I'd say that has been growing in the retail sector in the past 20 years because it hasn't had that competition from online, let's say, book, CDs, clothes retailers have. but the amount of space that's allotted in the country to retail will be diminishing, and it's infilling the street quite well, because like we said, we've got residential next door to it as well.
I only raised one concern, and I'm not quite sure whether there's anything in there. There's nothing I can bring to mind. It's the fact that it has no personal amenities space.
Well, it does.
It does?
Small amounts, yes, yeah. They
Where?
do, yeah. It's, I've got it noted down here that there is a small amount of amenity space in the form of a patio straight balcony to 3 of the apartments.
Right.
They have actually got
Okay.
that. Yes, so not all of them, but there is actually the provision of it.
I was thinking mainly the ground floor one that is on the car park entrance.
There is one which is
Yeah.
that, well, I can show you.
The front of the shop as you walk up Johnson's Close, effectively.
But these are apartments in the town centre,
Yeah.
which is like a flat, and it's, you don't necessarily expect.
Yeah, like a little garden.
No,
Or courtyard.
the type of person who they probably wouldn't want to go.
Yeah, it doesn't need one. There's parking here. So
There is,
what, they
and
got
they're
one
adding
parking
additional
space.
parking to it.
Additional?
Yeah.
So what, they're getting more than one parking space for the apartments, or are they just getting one each and then a guest, or?
Show me something
it's-
that I'm going to show
It's
you.
a highly sustainable location.
Okay,
Yes.
so this helps you to understand. So we've got some additional parking which is actually over here. So
That's it. There's the current doors there anyway, so I can see what they've done. They've utilised the space that's in front of there.
So this is, I believe, this is Thompson's Close, which you come down.
Yes.
So obviously you've got puddles and
Yeah.
things, you've got the road anyway. So there's 2 parking spaces here that they're adding.
Oh, private terrace.
Yeah, so there's a private terrace here. So where we've been used to at the moment, the sort of very open frontage, they're looking to actually have like in a sense, really a brick wall with railing, just to sort of enclose it more. But really, the actual look of the place is not going to change dramatically.
Yeah, that's what I think is
Yeah.
good.
How many parking spaces is it per apartment then?
So I've got, I'm just making notes.
They'll do the one.
Yeah.
No
that's what I thought.
parking, there's 1 parking for apartment 1, one parking space for apartment 1 and apartment 3, so they've each got an individual space each.
Are they the three bedrooms?
They, I'm not sure, I didn't note that down actually.
Because I can imagine it would be for the ones that are 3 bedrooms as opposed to the one that's 1 bedroom.
But there's no parking for apartment 2 and apartment 4.
I mean, I personally think we wouldn't have any parking anyway at this location, because it is in a highly sustainable location.
It is a
And if this
sustainable
was
location.
in a bigger city, if this was in London, then it would be car free.
And anyway, this is right next door to the Barrowsway car park. So
Precisely.
if you feel this,
That's it.
If you are a guest,
get a refund, just get a
Yeah.
residence permit, don't you?
Yes.
At a fee, admittedly, but if you want to have a parking space, you just pay and you park in it.
There is one concern on it that may or may not be relevant already, that the space between what used to be the public toilets, which is the wall that sticks out, the high wall they're going up on the right-hand side of Thompson's Close, the bit between there and the front door of here, and the gap into the thing is now being utilised, particularly in the evenings. Cars parked on there. I'll refrain from naming whom I believe it is, because
this development might prevent that.
there's something that it might be handy if there's an opportunity to say it somewhere in the paperwork that we would want to avoid that becoming established as parking.
Well, maybe through the fact that there's going to be residents there and it's going to be kind of passive surveillance, as you would say, those instances might reduce in the future, because you could have angry residents say, "Oh, what are you doing parking outside my house?" As opposed to an empty shop where no one is there after.
I'm not quite sure how the involvement goes with that one, whether that one's actually Harpenden or whether it's Snowdon's or whether it's ours. Anyway, we won't go there.
This area
So right, that
here.
area there
So
is now
what-
being utilised. There's usually 3 cars on there of an evening.
So
most
Do you think, though, as Harry says, because of it's known that
No,
this is...
it's nothing to do with that.
But no,
It's been some time.
No, but
Yeah.
this has been empty.
No, it's been happening before that.
Oh, really?
yeah.
Oh, go on, I know I'm...
But this is mainly during the evening, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I have seen the people from the cars going into the Indian restaurant, and it's on a regular basis.
But this is during the evening, though, isn't
During
it?
the
It's not
evening,
during the day when the shop's open. So you would think that in the evening, now that there's going to be it's going to be residential, you would have, as I said, through the fact it's residential and passive surveillance, you would have residents probably be a bit more vocal about...
It's not planning consideration anyway.
It's not a planning consideration, but I think
Let's move on.
I think, to be honest, is that there is an opportunity for you to put bollards of some sort there to prevent that.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I think there's a seat there, isn't there? There's a seat there.
There is, yes.
And there's these bike racks and things, so,
Bike racks, yeah.
you know, not a planning consideration, but I think there are ways of alleviating it.
Okay, so again, as set out then.
Yes, set out.
Completely
And it's well
predicted
worded.
that would become flats.
Yeah.
Thank you for that one. 5173635.
Now, this really should be called 47 Luton Road, and it is called 47, that must be, it is because Old Southgate, to the left of it, was a big property, and it's their garden. 49 was where Lance Thomas lived, and 51 was where I lived.
Yep.
And so they called it 47, which is a narrow, there's a huge oak tree, which I'm worried about, actually, beside us, they drive in, they've pushed up as it goes up, the thing, and it's a narrow road, but really, I can't see any objection to anything. This is what is the amendment that is...
Okay, proposed change is the addition of a double tandem garage to the lower ground floor. So in a sense, it's instead of them being parked side by side, they're parked one behind the other. This actually addresses the committee's concern for the previously approved scheme. No real change to the look and design of the approved scheme. So it's basically they've got an undercroft garage there.
I am happy with the wording.
Yes, I think we've been...
Is this old subject to what we're there?
I think your wording is excellent there, so it covers it.
Thank you. Right, 5180023, 26 Bowers Way, no comment required by the committee.
No comments.
And 5180006, 75 Station Road, no comment required by committee. I thought I'd come near to an end there for a minute. Well, take the two together and then somebody shout if there's a reason why we need to discuss. 5180055, 5180065, again both no comment.
No.
5180052, 5 Brackendale Grove, Harpenden, no objection, subject to the loss of amenity neighbouring properties, and it is for a single-storey rear extension and conservatory. Are we okay with that one?
Interestingly, with the history on this, no comment required by the committee last time. This prior notification, St Albans refused this.
Yes, because they felt that it needed to actually go to full planning application rather than be done under prior notification.
Oh, okay, so it wasn't necessarily anything in terms of
No.
quality. Okay, well,
No.
happy
But
with
it's
that.
just procedure.
Yes, so it says here that so at 6.72 metres deep, prior approval cannot be given to the proposed single-storey re-extension because it fails to comply with provisions of Class A.
Permitted development. Yeah.
So essentially they need to go for full planning.
Yeah.
As the enlarged part of the dwelling house would have a depth which is greater than 6 metres from the original rear wall, planning permission is then required for the proposed work.
Yeah.
Fine.
I concur precisely. Excellent.
No objection. Thank you. 5180072, 6 Cross Paths, raising of ridge height to enable loft conversion, with 4 front dormer windows and roof lights at front and rear slopes. Can we look at this one, please?
You can.
Anybody else want to look at it?
and I can give you my wording.
Thank you. Well, let's give us a wording first, and then we'll have a
Okay,
look. If we
surrounding
need to.
houses are of a two-storey design.
Right.
There are no other bungalows in close proximity. The raising of the roof is not dramatic and the style is sympathetic. There's parking for 4 cars right next to the garage. Neighbours are a good distance away.
And there's no objections in that case.
I think
I'll
I'll
withdraw from that one. So
Something like that, yeah.
no objection. Are we agreed on that one?
Yeah.
Right, 5173649, 21 Horsley Road. Two-storey side extension with the integral garage following demolition of existing garage. No objection.
Yeah, I'm
Any-
happy with that, yeah.
Thank you.
I don't know.
You all right with it, Mike?
Okay, so don't worry with that one at all.
5180079, 84 Piggott's Hill Lane. No material amendment. Fenestration changes and alteration to external materials. This applicant does not meet the criteria, sorry.
Yep.
Right, 5180051 10A Townsend Road. Single-storey front and part single-storey, part two-storey rear extension with roof lights. No objection subject to no loss of amenity. And progress design and use of materials as conservation area policy 72 and 85. Anything on that, Jim?
No, I'm happy.
No, I think you have to put that wording in, but it is good. You know, so no objection subject to. I think that's it's raised umbrella, so that's it.
Right, 5180054. 8 Meadow Walk, part two-storey and part first floor front side and rear extension with single-storey front extension following demolition of existing garage at 8 Meadow Walk. No objection subject to no loss of amenity to neighbouring properties. Policy 72 district plan.
Yep.
Good, look like a typical improvement.
Thank you. Penultimates. Page 20, 5180070, 4 Church Green, a discharge of condition by written scheme of investigation, no comment required. 5180076, 4 Park Avenue, single-storey rear extension. No objection subject to the appropriate design use of materials in local listed building in the conservation area policies 85 and 87 district plan refers.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The next one, can we just talk about this a little bit, because I have been talking about this property for a while now.
Yeah,
Because
Can I give its details
Yes,
and then
of
we'll go
course,
into
yes,
it?
yes.
5180078, Station House 2 to 6 Station Approach, discharge of condition-free samples and materials. Is there anything else?
I mean, this is permitted development.
It's no comment required by committee, but if you wish to make a comment, sir?
Well, are they only putting 12 flats here at this place? Because I'm not too sure, because I've been asking about this, what's been going on with the station house for a while. So obviously I get the train in the mornings, and it's just an eyesore, terrible eyesore. It's a prime piece of brownfield that should really have been developed into flats a long time ago.
Yes.
And I think it has gone to committee before, and various committees have said no because of parking, even though it's right next to a train station. However, is this just one part of it that they're talking about 12 flats? Because I thought you could have got more in there than 12 flats.
It's just purely 12 flats. They're converting the existing dwelling, existing property, into the flats. We did look at
In the
it.
70s, this was the VAT office, it was the HMRC, was there, it was the VAT office for the whole area.
So this application, basically, Harry, they're not far off starting work, essentially. Discharge conditions means that they're needing the district council to say, yes, I agree, those materials are suitable, and yes, I agree that particular proposal of the landscaping is suitable. Then
The application's already gone through somewhere.
Yes, I'm sure I remember seeing it on a planning committee, but I'm
Yeah,
sure
we've looked at it.
I'm
They're
sure
fine,
it
Harry.
more units than 12 though. I'm sure it was like 20 or 30, or am I imagining
No.
that?
Well, doesn't it surprisingly go back further down towards Harpenden Road.
It backs onto the office
Yes,
estate, so to speak, the
Yeah.
offices.
and I think there might be, that's where it is well.
Because I've been talking about this for a while. I keep saying, oh, it would be really good to improve permeability if they could have maybe a footpath through the site down to
Yeah.
Harpenden Grove for commuters. But as far as I know, there's nothing happening like that. But this will be very, very good because, as I said, this is one of our prime pieces of brownfield land, and 12 flats there is badly needed. Are these one bedroom, two bedrooms? Is it a mix? I mean,
The mix, I think, Harry.
Okay.
The letter coming to something is amusing.
and there is going to be some parking there.
It's,
Assume that's probably for guest
So,
parking as well.
looking at
Harold
what's
Hedges.
detailed here, Harry, is that there's always been around for 10 to 12.
Okay, well I must be imagining
Yeah,
that 20
10
from my
to
memory.
12.
Yeah. Okay, well at least
Can we
they
move
go-
on from that one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well I'll just
Yes,
take
please.
yes. Well I just take an interest in that application. but-
Right, gentlemen, thank you very much, and Heather.
And Heather.
Yes, don't take that one the wrong way.
No.
It's not a sexist
That's
comment.
fine. It's okay. Right, so do we want to just note these other...
just no,
Right,
Right,
please, if you
yeah.
could, yes.
So obviously we'll note the letter of objection,
Yep.
Yes, I read that.
so Mrs. Hedges.
and then...
Was that who it was?
Yes.
Oh yeah, of course. I didn't know.
Anyway, gentlemen, to order, please.
And then we have one appeal, which is for 5 Avenue St Nicholas, so that we'll just note that.
Thank you.
There were no prior notifications.
Thank you.
We can note the weekly list of applications and note the weekly list of free work.
Yep.
And then the date of the next meeting is Plan B on the 20th of February, and Plan North is on the 19th.
That's quick. Oh, B, sorry, yes, it's just the right.
Yeah.
I've swapped committees, I've forgotten.
You have?
I've forgotten I'm part of the 18 now.
Yes.
You are?
Yes, the 18th.
Okay,
Thank you.
so meeting
thank you.
closed at, 8:39.
27th.
it looks like.
Yes, you're right.
So our next is when?
May.
That's 19th of February, so we've got one in May.